when I signed in to TikTok and I saw the call to action, they are literally changing our laws. This is the thing that blows my mind. The irony of this, that you have an adversary, another government who is not a democracy, who does not practice free speech. If they want to completely brainwash a culture, which when you see these riots with these little buzz slogans that are inaccurate coming from TikTok, if they want to make a country unstable, that's such an easy way to do it.
It's the Inspiration Place podcast with artist Miriam Schulman. Welcome to the Inspiration Place podcast, an art world insider podcast for artists by an artist, where each week we go behind the scenes to uncover the perspiration and inspiration behind the art. And now, your host, Miriam Schulman.
How are you, my friend?
I am doing well. How about you?
Good. So the first Kvetch and Cavell actually went live today.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay. Well, then I'll do mine too.
Okay. So remember the pods I told you about?
The pause.
Pods. Pods.
Oh, yeah.
They love them. And so right now I'm in the middle of a bootcamp launch. Today is my cart close. And this is like the main reason now people are signing up for this program is the accountability pods.
That I have to do it.
Right. This is not even my Cavell, by the way. This is just like bonus Cavell because that's what we were talking about last time.
Yeah, bring it.
Right. Okay.
All right. Note to self, pods, do it. Okay.
Yes. All right. I think all my other Kvetches and Cavells all have to do with Amazon. So you want to start since mine all have to do with Amazon?
Yeah. I'll start with it's a big major kvetch. Okay.
I can't wait.
And it's about TikTok. And I really want to share this with the world. So I know you have a large listening audience. So I'm just going to tell you what I think. So, I report the news every morning about social media and AI and digital marketing and that sort of thing on my Amazon Lexi Flash briefing. And so I've been keeping up quite a bit with this whole TikTok getting shut down business, right? And there are so many millions of entrepreneurs, online entrepreneurs who are freaking out because of this and the fact that, the rug is going to be pulled out from under them and they've built this audience on TikTok and nowhere else.
Do you feel sorry for them? Because I don't. I mean, I wrote about this 2 years ago in my book.
But you know what? Here's the people I feel sorry for is that a lot of the people who got successful over there got successful by accident. I mean, there's 89-year-old women who just started talking about their dead husband and all of a sudden they caught fire and people want merch and they didn't go into it. And so they built an audience. So for those people, they don't know marketing. They don't know that you're supposed to grab an email, and how important it is to build your own email list. So whatever, it's not even about that necessarily. Here's the part that really has me fired up.
Okay.
Is that, well, first of all, I want everybody to know if you have built an audience on TikTok and you are participating in the very fruitful TikTok economy that is TikTok shops, you can do that now on YouTube. YouTube now has YouTube shops and they're really good. And it's a good time to get over there. So go ahead, take your shop over there.
Okay. Wait.
Yeah.
That is very important for my artists because there's a graph that I throw up. It sounds like I just vomited. There's a graph that I put up on my slide deck every time I do a masterclass that tells you what the ROI, the return on investment is for every single kind of advertising platform. And video already outperforms social media. So the fact that you can do video and sell your art there is really something that I just want artists to pay attention to.
Absolutely.
Not just artists, because this is what I'm saying is true, not just of artists. It's true of anybody in business. It's the bottom of the barrel for return on investment is television, then radio, then social media. It's
yeah, and you've been beating that drum where other people have not, but you've been pointing that out, and it's really a relief to a lot of people to hear that.
Yes,
really,
because they burn themselves out trying to create all this content. Okay, so but what is your kvetch? Because so far we have a Cavell is with the YouTube. Okay,
no, but I had to throw that in there.
Absolutely.
So this is what I want to say is that TikTok is incredibly dangerous. And I want you to understand that this is coming from a person who poo-poos that kind of stuff, who says it's a global economy, who says you have to at some point let go and you got to let go of the reins because, we're global, the internet, all of that. But TikTok is different. And this is why, and I've been studying this and it's taken me, I didn't come out with this strong feeling right out of the gate. As this story has been progressing, my thought was like, to be honest, I've surrendered so much to social media and the internet in terms of privacy, right? Like I open up my phone with facial recognition for crying out loud, right? Like we're all getting our email addresses stolen on a daily basis. Like this is the world that we live in. So it's like, it's hard to really sort of like batten down the hatches because we're all opened up, right? And I used to think like, the Chinese figure out that I like, Lil Boo Thing is my favorite little dance song. Okay. So they figure out, that I like to watch vegan cooking videos. I don't really care. And that's what a lot of people say. That is not what this is about. Okay. TikTok is owned by the Chinese. The Chinese are our adversaries. Call them our enemies. Call them whatever you want. They are our adversaries. Okay. Number one. Number two, it is a propaganda machine like no others. And I had this conversation with my kids and they said, but Mom, Instagram Reels is the same thing. No, it's not, because it is not owned by our adversaries, like our political adversaries, our adversaries in the world, people who want to do us harm, people we could go to war with. So I'm not trying to get political, but I wanted to tell you this mind-blowing thing, okay? If you notice, before TikTok legislation was passed that said TikTok has to sell to a US-based entity. That's where it stands now, okay? They didn't ban it, but they're like, you better sell to somebody in the United States. Okay. Right before that happened, what do you think you saw when you logged in? And you may or may not have seen it. When you logged into TikTok, do you remember what you saw, the first screen you saw, Miriam?
No, I don't use TikTok.
Okay, perfect. That's right. You don't use TikTok, but I'll tell you what you saw. You saw a screen that said, contact your lawmaker and tell them you don't want TikTok to be banned. And then in the algorithm, when you log into TikTok, there's like a million videos, just one after the other, like, people power, us against them. They can't ban TikTok. We're the TikTokers. And it was this felt like this really pure grassroots movement. No, think about, and this is the thing that blows my mind, the irony of this, that you have an adversary. Okay. Our enemy, the Chinese, I shouldn't say enemy, but the Chinese people, another government who is not a democracy, who does not practice free speech, telling us, our young people specifically, to contact their lawmakers to tell them no. And they made it real easy with hashtags and links directly to their local legislators. And the legislators were in the Senate and all the people were completely overwhelmed by all of this stuff that was coming their way. And like I say, I rest my case. And by the way, in China, they don't let their people see the same things that we see. So anything, if they want to completely brainwash a culture, which PS, when you see these slogans and riots and, whatever, a lot of these things are happening with these little buzz slogans that are inaccurate and they're coming from TikTok. If they want to make a country unstable, that's such an easy way to do it. Yes, Instagram has do it. Yes, we know that it happened on Facebook, in 2016 when all the Russian bots, we know that happened, but there at least was an earnest effort on the part of, well, maybe not earnest enough, but there was an effort to try and quell that and to stop that. But if the originator of the platform, you know what I mean? Like they themselves are the people who control what you see. And we all know that TikTok has the strongest algorithm. For those of you watching and listening who are on TikTok, you know that it serves you up exactly what you want to see more than Instagram Reels, more than any of them. They have the most powerful algorithm. So I told you it was a major kvetch and that I was going to get fired up, what logically follows, and I'm going to say this without saying it. So in other words, if they wanted to encourage students to protest about certain causes, they could be feeding them that as well, because they know what that's doing to the US election right now, like those types of issues. Like if they want to shut down exams and
step all over our educational system. Like they have incentive and ways to do that. Is that what the logical conclusion is here?
1,000%.
Okay. Which we're not even going to get into. Either you know or you don't know what we're talking about. And let's just leave it at that.
They know that, and it is a certain demographic that gets like 95% of their news from TikTok, not social media, TikTok. Therefore, whatever it is, if we want the young people in the United States to believe that the aliens are invading, right? And that, it's a real thing, they could do that. They could literally put together videos, push up all those alien invader people who say they've been abducted by aliens, right? Sounds so ridiculous. But if TikTok chose to make all of that information rise up in the newsfeed of a huge portion of our population, and we're all watching it for an hour and 2 hours a day, the way that we used to watch television, then of course that. So I am now 100%, I really held on to my opinion on this for years. I really did not come out with a strong opinion, but it was when I signed in to TikTok and I saw the call to action. They are literally changing our laws. They literally can change our laws.
Yeah. That
by
is
telling
frightening.
do you know what I mean? So that it is frightening. And I was like, oh, then I had this humongous, light bulb moment. And I was like, this is really, and I will say, just because even when they sell it to the United States, it's still depending on who they sell it to. I mean, cash is king around here, so it's like they might sell it to people in the United States and who aren't so good, but somehow it just feels better if a country who is against us doesn't own it. All right. So that's my kvetch.
Hey, I want you to eavesdrop on Lynn Samus. She's a wonderful artist from Fort Worth, Texas. And she and I were celebrating her $15,000 month. And that was from selling original art. So listen in.
I was pretty pumped. If I won, I haven't gotten a check from her yet. She said it's in the mail, but if I would have gotten it, I would have gotten up to 15,000. It was a big month. I was blown away. Obviously, that's my biggest month ever. So it was pretty cool. My goal is 5K. If I can keep a 5K a month and be surprised, that would be exciting.
Does it help for you to send in the receipt to get some good for you?
It kind of does. Yeah. It kind of.
Keep doing it then.
Held accountable, just have my own contest that I'll send in to you.
Yes. Keep doing it.
Okay. So thank you.
You're welcome.
But I was pumped.
Yeah.
My husband just went, oh my gosh, how'd this happen? So,
and you said, because I joined Miriam's program. And he's like, you were like, remember that expensive program that you thought I shouldn't join?
I was blown away. So thank you.
All right. And now back to the show.
My Cavell is right here on my face. These are my Ray-Ban Meta glasses.
Wait, can I tell you, just 5 minutes ago, I was seriously looking at your glasses and saying, I want them.
Okay. Well,
what explain? They're beautiful.
I wish I had an affiliate link. Let me tell you, these are, because I'm about to hype these like you have never heard.
Right, and let me just describe it for the blind people who cannot see us right now. They're kind of like that very, very hip, rectangular look, like dark. Not is that what Mel Robbins wears?
Yeah, they're like Mel Robbins.
Okay, fine. But you're not copying her. Let's just be clear. That's just style.
These are actually classic Wayfarers. So anybody who has ever seen Wayfarer, Ray-Ban Wayfarers, that's what they are. So they're shaped like a Wayfarer. Mine are black. They have brown. They have other colors. But let me tell you why these are the perfect glasses. Number one, they are the Ray-Ban Meta Smart Glasses. This means they do very cool things. Okay. So if I press this button at the top, it will take a still photo. If I press it and hold it, it will take a video. So Miriam, when I do this, you're going to see a little white light. Did you see that?
I did.
Okay. And then I'm going to press it and hold it. And now I am videotaping us.
You're so cool, Jen.
Okay. So I'm going to click that and turn that off. Now there's that. So anybody who's listening, not watching, it's a pretty obvious white light. They did that so people would know ideally that their picture was being taken or their video. But to be honest, I could just do my hair like this and you wouldn't have any idea. And the reason I know that is because when I went to LA, I would never use these for nefarious purposes. However, when I was in LA and you're seeing all these stars, left and right, you don't want to be a nerd and goofy and pull out your phone. So I was just in stealth mode every time I would see, oh, Valerie Bertinelli, click, click, and just take a quick picture.
Okay. So I will be watching out for those glasses in my locker room at the
Well, God forbid someone should do that. But, someone will, some idiot will use them for those purposes. But that is not why they're the perfect glasses. Actually, so I was kayaking this past Mother's Day weekend. And, your hands are busy with the paddle. So watch my glasses now, Miriam. So I'm going to say, hey, Meta, take video. Do you see that?
Yes, it started taking the video.
And I do the same. I could do the same thing, just talking to it. I can also say, hey, wake word. I don't want to say it because it'll do it. Hey, wake word, call Jake Mobile. That's my son. And it will automatically call him and I can talk to him through the glasses and I don't have to wear AirPods. Okay. So this is incredible. And the sound quality is so good. No one around you can hear the conversation.
So it's on the earpiece. It's on.
I don't know where it is. I don't know if they put it somewhere. Yeah. It's somewhere on the stem on the side, but it's not like it's built in. It's not bone conduction because someone said, oh, it must be bone conduction. It's not bone conduction. It's just their mic's built in the perfect spot. I don't know where, but I can hear perfectly and no one around me can hear. And that same thing goes for my audiobooks or I wore them on the plane ride all day yesterday. No one on either side of me could hear me. And I was watching a movie on my phone. So your books, your podcasts, your phone conversations, all of that. And it's voice activated. Now, what they just added in 2 weeks ago is AI. So now I can say, if I'm at a museum, hey, Meta, what am I looking at? And Meta will tell me what I'm looking at.
Because you're geotagged or whatever. Yeah. They know where you are.
Well, no, no, not geotag. It can see what I'm seeing.
What?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Hello, mic drop. So I'll say, if I'm standing in front of the Mona Lisa, hey, Meta, tell me more about this artist. And I just woke it up and it's going to start talking. Hey, Meta, cancel.
But basically, it's the frame. So you can go to any eye doctor and put your prescription in there.
Okay, yes.
I have stigmatisms up the wazoo in my eyes.
Okay, that brings me to my next point, that this is why they are the perfect glasses.
Wait, they auto adjust? Are these the ones we heard about in that CES conference? Remember we heard about that? The Google eyeglasses that self. No, you don't remember that?
I don't remember that. Well,
when we were in Las Vegas.
These are, as you're looking at me, they're perfectly clear, like regular glasses.
Okay.
But they're also, the ones that I got are also transitional. So when I go outside, they turn into sunglasses. And I got these cool green lenses, like
very nice.
Green, and they're a matte black. Okay. On the frames. Then they're also progressive. So from here up, so yes, you could get your prescriptions in here. At this point, I just wear readers. But I did get a light magnification up above. So just to summarize, okay, these replace your AirPods. These replace your sunglasses. There's sunglasses and readers and regular glasses all in one. So none of this up and down, on and off stuff that drives me nuts. I normally have like a pair of readers on my head and like sunglasses on my face or vice versa. That's how I spend the day. Now I don't have to do that anymore. They are basically Chat GPT on your face. They're just everything. Like they're the coolest things. And now that I've had them for a couple of months and I've like, they keep a good battery charge. They last a while. It's everything about them. They're comfortable. They're lightweight. They have perfected these. I actually bought them back in 2020 during COVID, but at that time they would only record video and take pictures. And at the time I was like, what am I going to do with a 30-second video? Right?
Right. Oh, you naive child grasshopper. What is that expression? My naive grasshopper.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's going to, they're going to be, now I can do a 1-minute video. And then the last thing that I'll say is that it integrates seamlessly with an app on your phone. So when you take a picture or video, it just goes straight to the app that you have on your phone and into your photo roll. And that wraps up Mike Fetch and Cavell for today.
I love it. Thank you, Jen. Okay. So everything that I have now is about Amazon. Should I start with the kvetch? And that so we can end on a kvel?
Yeah, I think we
Yeah.
should.
And
we'll
I just
end
want to remind
positive.
people,
Yeah.
kvetch is basically Yiddish for complaining. And kvel is Yiddish for like praising, I guess.
Praising,
being
yes.
excited, celebrating.
Yes.
And it's
Like
a lot with
gushing.
Yiddish, it's a gushing. Perfect. It
Yeah.
also has like onomatopoeia. So words tend to kind of sound like what they mean.
Yeah.
So kvetch, it's like, bleh.
Yeah.
Kvel. Okay. Right.
And if you're watching, you can't see all the sign language that went with that.
Well, you can imagine,
stuff.
right?
Yeah.
Talk with my hands. Okay. All right. So Mercury in retrograde was not kind to me. So what happened? First of all, my kitty spilled water on my laptop. So one keyboard later, that's just a mini kvetch. But the big thing that happened during Mercury in retrograde is I got this email from Amazon saying that they're disabling my account because I had too many returns in the UK, which I've never used, Jen.
Oh my
just in
gosh.
case you're wondering. Right. Never used it. And at first when I got the email, I thought it was like a phishing email. So of course I ignored it. It's like, don't respond to this email type of email. Like, don't call customer service. They won't know what you're talking about.
Right.
It was like, it looked fake. But then I got locked out of Amazon. Finally, I'm through customer service. They were able to get me back in. But yes, my account was still shut down. I couldn't buy anything. If I bought anything, they automatically canceled it. I couldn't comment on anyone's live streams. And what had happened was like a couple weeks ago, I got approved for an influencer account. So I'd been working on that. So the whole thing was such a kvetch. I finally got the account back because I couldn't take it anymore when I was away for the weekend. I got my laptop back, but my LastPass wasn't on it. So I didn't know my password for Amazon Business. I only had the password for the Amazon account that didn't work. But you know how that work, It's like
We've all been
right
there.
I was like, I can't take this anymore. I said to my husband, you're going to have to wait while I sit on customer service. So I was on customer service US. They said the only way you can get it back is you got to log on to the UK site and work with them. I legitimately was on there for over an hour. And the guy felt so sorry for me because he says, oh, yeah, this is a mistake. You have no orders with us. Like, I was like, yeah. He's like, so he says, I'll file the paperwork. And I'm like crossing my fingers. And finally I got it back. So that was my huge kvetch.
Well, congratulations. I'm glad it has a happy ending. They don't always have,
when it
big
first
companies.
happened, like I wasn't fazed by it. It wasn't until like a week later when I realized how inconvenienced I was. Like, you don't realize how dependent you become on some of these technologies until they get taken away. It was like,
So true.
oh yeah, my Eucerin cream subscription, which by the way, in case you guys heard my Creamgate episode, that's like a $9.99 cream that I actually use. Like, so yeah, I was very upset about that. But in the beginning, I was like, oh, big deal. It'll just get fixed. This is a glitch. Who cares? But then a week later, it's like, no, this isn't being fixed unless I do something about it.
I'm having a similar issue with Google My Business, and they literally every single day it says we've removed your content. But my content is not breaking any laws. Literally, they're removing like all the content I've ever put, because we religiously post to Google My Business every day, which is PS is a good practice for everyone.
Yeah.
But I don't know why they're doing that, but it's going to be we already spent hours and we'll spend hours more. I'm sure it's a nightmare. So I'm glad yours worked out.
Like
Yeah.
I've been in business a long time. I've had my Instagram account shut down, got it back. I had my eBay account shut down. That's when I was selling art on eBay, got it back. For the Instagram, it was the hack. For eBay, I actually did something naughty on there. That's why I got shut down.
Well, now we have to know what it is.
Oh, I was selling, do you remember Webkins, the stuffed animals?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So I was drawing pictures of Webkins to sell, like little cute little watercolor sketches. And there's nothing wrong, just as for my artists, there's nothing wrong with creating a watercolor sketch of whatever you want. The problem is if you use a brand name in your listing to
Title.
spell
it,
right, then that is like trademark infringement or something like that. I forget what the exact word is, but you can't use like Chanel or Coke or so. That's what it was. So
well, that's not that naughty, but I get it.
It was.
And also, I think it's fun to think about you doing watercolor of Webkins and selling them on eBay. I think
I've come a long way, baby.
I love it.
That's back when I didn't realize that cheap wasn't easier to sell. Okay, so let's talk about the Cavell. So one of the things that I did when I hit my 300th podcast episode is I was giving away Amazon gift cards. And one of the things I gave away an Amazon gift card to, this also could be why my account got shut down. According to my team, they read on Reddit, therefore it's true. Reddit is a very good source.
Yeah, it is,
no, it is that buying gift cards on Amazon can trigger these things like technical glitches. And by the way, the timing was exactly that. Like it literally was the next day.
Okay, I'm so glad I know that because we buy tons of Amazon gift cards.
Yeah, I'm never doing it again.
Oh my God,
never.
Me either. Thank you.
I'm going to interrupt this conversation because I want you to hear from Suzanne reporting back on the new accountability pods because I don't want you to take my word for it. Suzanne, you're in an accountability pod. Is that right? And you've been participating in that?
Yes, we had our meeting today.
Yeah. You want to tell people about that? Because that was something new that I introduced this year. Like, how does that help you having that kind of community?
It's great because, we're all different levels. So some people are ahead of me, some people are behind me, and we mention what we're thinking about, what we're worried about, and we bounce ideas off each other. It's like a think tank. And
beautiful.
You have your little idea and it just blossoms. Everybody gives their opinion. It just takes it to the next level. And it's nice to be able to talk to people that have the same interest. My husband is great, but he doesn't know about art. He's not into it, and now I'm surrounded with people that are not just artists, because you do meet artists out and about, but these are artists that have a goal like me. So we're all trying to push forward and help each other and grow. We have a common interest. Everybody's paid to participate in this, so they have a vested interest.
Okay. And now back to the show. So anyway, we bought 3 $100 gift cards. And what it was to randomly award somebody who had left a review, an honest review. Not to get into trouble. An honest review of my book and my workbook. But the Cavell part that I wanted to share is one of the artists, and I'll give him a shout out, Eric Ross. He did something very clever. So when he left his review, you know how you can upload a picture, and really it's supposed to be a picture of you with the book or a picture of you with the item. So he uploaded a picture that basically advertised his art. And I was like, that is so clever. Like the way he did it, I was like, oh, basically, this is something all artists can hear, that you can do this for anything. Like, okay, so you bought your Eucerin cream, stick it on top of your easel and make sure you put text on it that says what the art is and what your Instagram handle is, and you upload it. It's basically like a free ad.
That is so smart.
Yeah. I was like, wow, that was smart.
That really is smart. I have my URL on my Peloton account.
Oh.
And I noticed nobody else does that. But you couldn't put your art there. You could put your art on your Peloton account as because there's thousands of people in a classroom. In a live Peloton class. But I love that. So you weren't like, oh, this guy's advertising in my reviews. You were like, whatever. I got the review.
Okay.
And
if he was an artist business coach posting something, I would not be so pleased or thinking he's so clever.
Right. Right.
No.
Yeah. Go find your own playground, sir.
That's right. It's like going into Starbucks and saying, hey, the coffee at Dunkin' Donuts, it's really good.
Yeah, but I've had people that do the equivalent of that sometimes.
I know, me too.
Makes me scratch my head.
I know. It's like,
you see what I'm trying to do over here? I mean,
right.
How what you're doing is like messing me up.
Exactly. Okay, so my other Cavell is, so I'm approved for an Amazon influencer account, and I opened my Amazon storefront. So I got a bunch of stuff on there. But what I'm most excited about are doing Amazon Lives.
Do tell.
Okay, so I'm going to just show you what this looks like. I did a practice one. We're not actually starting it until June. I know we're recording this in May, but I think this goes live in June. So when you're listening, there should be some real ones up. And you can go to schulmanart.com/store to see what it is we've set up. And for me, yes, of course, I'm not going to turn down affiliate income from Amazon. But what you're going to see is this is a great way for me to sell my book. So it's like Facebook Lives were before. So when you're watching somebody, what happens is they have a carousel running. So you see the live, and as you talk about each thing, you have to have your assistant, or you can do it all yourself, but I really recommend you use a VA, like Jen would tell you to do also. Your assistant in the background can highlight the products. So in the carousel, for the first one I'm doing, it's all about planning. So I have my planner pad. I have the markers that I use. I have the tabs that I brought. But of course, in every carousel, just like Eric
Okay,
Ross.
wait, let me interrupt. On the far left,
Yes.
that vertical column is what your carousel is, right?
That is the carousel.
Yeah.
So they can
Yeah.
search through the carousel, but as you talk about products, you have an assistant will highlight it. But then once it's done while you're live, the recording will show it.
Oh, nice. I'm actually going to go watch this and buy every single one of these because I love, and I'll never do it, but every time I see your planners and the way that you organize yourself and your thoughts.
So the one I have
so
up
appealing.
here is not a real, like I wasn't really trying that hard to be entertaining or to do anything because it was like my practice one and I'm going to do it all over again.
Okay.
But by the time the listeners, when you're on, you'll get to see it live. But you see how I have my book and Artpreneur workbook. So listen to all the different possibilities that you could have here. So I'm going to show you some ones that I'll show you what I already planned so you can kind of get the idea of the potential for this. And I don't think you can see upcoming live streams for somebody. Yeah, you can't. Okay, so let me just stop sharing, but I will tell you what I'm doing. So I'm doing one live stream. It's all going to be my podcasting equipment. Another live stream is going to be all about selling art online. And I'll be linking up all the equipment. Selling online art classes. So I'll be linking up all the equipment I use to photograph and edit and launch my online classes. Another live stream will all be about how to package prints. So it's basically same kind of content that in the past I would have done on Facebook Live for free. And yeah, maybe I would have given them a PDF with all these things linked on it. But here I have a greater opportunity not only to earn more affiliate income, but also to build my audience. So I have a friend who does decor, and they tell me they get hundreds of thousands of people tuning in live because Amazon, this is blown up even bigger than Amazon thought was going to happen. And so they're pushing it out into the feed and people are tuning in like crazy. And just think about all the different potential this is. So let's say I could invite a decorator influencer to my channel. We can talk about art and decorating. Maybe they have a decorating book. Maybe I have my art book. Maybe we have some decor items in the carousel. Maybe I can invite Tracy Atsuka to the podcast because she has a book. So, that book in the carousel, maybe as well as things she uses to help keep her focused, like a timer or a desk planner.
Fidgets.
Yeah. So there's like so much potential here to do content creation. And for those of you listening who are artists who are like scratching my head, wait a minute, how does this work for me? Well, duh. Obvious. I don't mean to say, I'm going to have to edit that out. Okay. So
why? Is that like offensive to say duh?
Is it?
No, I don't think so.
I don't know. All right, fine. I won't edit it out. But like you could do watercolor demos and talk about the supply. So when I was teaching online art classes, I always would have a live stream about what supplies I use. That was one of the best ways I used to get people to join my class. And not everything has to be live. You can have like little pre-recorded snippets. We are going to be using StreamYard to broadcast onto Amazon. So, and that is what I used in that little demo you saw over
Question
there.
about building your audience.
Yeah.
How can you build your audience, like your email list? Can you?
Yeah, you can put a QR code or a URL on the screen. You can't put it into the chat. They don't let you. They will delete any comment that is a URL. So even people who are following you can't come in and say, "Hey,
Is that a loophole they allow the QR code, or is that a way that people are getting around it, and then eventually they're going to get busted?
No, they allow that.
Okay.
The people I follow who have 300,000, whatever, people showing up live, they use the QR codes on the screen. You can say like, they want you to build your audience because when you build your audience, as long as you're continuing bringing it back to Amazon.
So you could put like inspirationplace.net .net or .com or whatever you are on the screen.
Correct.
It just
So
can't
what
be a
I would
clickable
do-
URL in anywhere below.
It can't be a clickable URL in the chat. And there's a
Got
chat
it.
running when you're live. So I can put on the screen, okay, I'm teaching you. This is all the equipment you need to build your online art class. Okay, well, I have a free giveaway for you. By the way, anyone listening who wants the online art class,
Checklist.
yeah, it's schulmanart.com/tech.
TECH.
TECH. So I could put something like that on the screen. I could even go directly to a sales page like, oh, and I have this mini course on building an online class. Here's the URL. So I could put that on there too.
Mm.
But I'd rather gather their email address and build the relationship.
For sure.
Yeah.
Love this. Love,
Isn't that
love.
great?
It
Like,
is
yeah.
so
So
great.
I was like, that's why I wouldn't let you cancel today. That's like, I've been waiting to tell you about all
I
these
didn't.
things.
Okay. I'm so glad that I didn't.
Okay.
It's
All
because
right.
this is so fun, as always.
Thank you, Jen, for that. All right. So that's it for now. I'll see you the same time, same place next week. Until then, stay inspired. Bye for now.
Thank you for listening to the Inspiration Place podcast. Connect with us on Facebook at facebook.com/SchulmanArt, on Instagram @SchulmanArt, and of course on schulmanart.com.